Hello everybody, this is Rusty Rotor with a past build. So you know it's Wednesday for everybody that's set their bell notifications. So the channel is still growing, which is great. I greatly appreciate it. We're almost at 600 subs, so we're basically close to that 3/4 mark to 1,000 subs. Which is our shop's goal right now, is reaching 1,000 subs, and then we can give a giveaway away, and then we can proceed and keep growing. This build was built probably roughly around 4.5 years ago, somewhere around there, 5 years ago. It was the first one that I attempted to do a lot of detail on the engine compartment and the interior. I didn't modify the suspension any, because when I first tried, it was like, it just wouldn't fit in there without doing something, and I wasn't that knowledgeable of what I could and couldn't do. And again, back then I think we paid $25 for the kit, $20. I ordered it from an online shop. Back then, before I knew of all the other places, it was just the first place I came across, and my wife said just pick a kit out, and I did, and this is what I got. Was a great kit. I had some fitment issues on the nose and in the back, but they weren't horrible. It's just the detail was, for a revelle kit, the detail is very poor. And when we get up close, you'll see what I'm talking about, especially in the back. The rest of it was fine. I didn't do my due diligence on the bodywork, and it does show, unfortunately. I was sanding, all different directions. I mean, I was using the right grits, but it was just horrible. I didn't have real good lighting. I rattle canned this car out in the garage, so the garage lighting's poor. So a lot of it was my fault. A lot of it, I think there's some issues in the styrene that I didn't see, that I probably should have used a heavier grip first and then finished it out. But this kit is, to me, is worth taking it apart carefully and stripping the body and redoing it. Not changing anything as far as colors or anything like that. Engine bay I'd leave alone. The interior I'd leave alone. I would modify the suspension a little bit and lower the stance. The real car, I got the inspiration from a car I saw on Facebook. It is a real one-to-one car, and it's a Hemi car, and the car just sits lower. But the kit had everything I really needed to produce what I was going for. Only modification I did do was in the interior. I pinned and hinged the seats to where they'll fold up and back to let passengers get in the back. I scratch built the seat belt buckles, and then detail painted. I did some washes to kind of make this the interior look a little older. Highlighted stuff that normally wouldn't be seen. I used all the kit decals. I added an aftermarket distributor and pre-wired distributor. Now I never saw pictures of underneath the hood, so I don't know if all that's correct to the real car, but the body color, the interior color, tires and wheels, those were all, matched the real car. Those are Pegasus torque thrust 19s all the way around. And I think that was it. The distributor came from, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Parts by Parks pre-wired distributor. But I'm going to take it off here so we can stop getting dizzy. And we'll start with the engine bay. So I took the air cleaner and I drilled it out, and I added beads to look like, represent the Venturis on the carburetors. I just detail painted everything else. And if you take this off, there's nothing to the carburetors. They're just the stock carburetors come with the kit. I did drill out the intake and run a vacuum line. I'm going to back away and then zoom in. over to the brake booster. Like I said, the plug is plugged and wired. This is the first time with me doing plugs and wires, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was fiddly, it was hard, but I was able to get it, and a decent result. I do not like the boots sticking up out of the valve covers, because generally in real life they don't. They're flush with the surface or a little bit below. I use like the girls use those beads, and I made my fuel lines. Little anodized fittings. They're not the best to scale, but they work for what I was trying to go for. And it goes down. It does go into the fuel pump. Black washed the alternator. Just detail painted everything, nuts and bolts. Master cylinder. The batteries just detail painted and decals added. Same way, nuts and bolts on top. Washer fluid, I used the clear Tamiya blue and put it underneath the reservoir, and then put it in place. Painted the cap black. Painted the clamp or the strap silver. Ran the heater hoses in. There's a little bead coming off the back, like an anodized fitting. And then I got little wires there coming down. I painted them black so they blend in real well with the firewall. Just pretty much detail painted. Underneath is the same way, just detail painted. Hand painted exhaust, the shocks, and just detail painted bolts. It's clean. It's just, the steering is posable. It was just fun to get in there and hand pick out all the little details. But you can see my scratch marks from where I sanded. And this is where it leads me to believe there was issues with the styrene. I got some wax down in the crack. I just gave it a wax job. So I need to clean that back out. But I didn't see it, so I didn't sand it all down. And then I painted it and I cleared it with Tamiya clear. It's a Tamiya rattle can paint job. Back out here. It turned out good. I mean, it's shiny like it would be in real life. It's not over the top show car quality shiny, but it's just right. And now you can see the interior. I'll grab a pair of tweezers, and you can see they ain't been moved in forever. Let's go to the other side. I can see it leaning down. See, the seats fold up and they fold down, and now over the years they don't want to stay up. They want to just lay down. So I'd probably make some adjustments to that to get them to function a little better. But you can see there's my scratch made buckles. They're not the best, but I was proud of it. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I just weathered the interior a little bit, probably a little bit too much. I may go back over it, put a fresh coat of paint on them, and then come back and weather them the right way. Then everything else is just detail painted. Let's see if we can zoom in versus trying to get blurry. There you go. Still a little blurry, isn't it? Let's see if we can get up on that dash a little bit. There we go. And I got some smudges and fudges and everything else on it. The air cleaner can't be on it. You can get the hood on. It doesn't want to sit. It fits perfect without the air cleaner on it. Oh. There we go. And then we'll do it again. Alright, let's not make you seasick here. But, And I didn't glue the tires to the wheels. I need to. I'll take it back off here and show you. The tires are opposable. There's some glue spots here and there where I wasn't careful, and when I was putting it together, I touched it. I got too antsy, and there's some smudges on the chrome trim that need to be redone. So that's why I said it'd be worth it to me to strip it down. Oh, I just wanted to see the back end. 1 second, let me shut this off. We'll set it up there, and then we'll go in on the back end of it. Okay, so the detail wasn't real prominent, and I fiddled with it, and I got it the best I could. But you know, overall, it's a nice shelf queen. I may never touch it again. You know, and then again, I might. You never know. But to me, out of all the ones I've done in the past, this would be one that I'd be willing to take apart and restore, because I'm just not happy with the finished product as far as the paint goes. For being, you know, out of the hobby for 20 plus years and then getting back into it, and this being, you know, I knocked a few out, got them underneath my belt, and got excited about everything that was out at the time, all the aftermarket stuff. It was exciting and fun to, you know, broaden my horizons, you know, get my skills a little more honed. So now that they're even more honed, it would be a good time to strip it down. I've seen this. Matthew at Model Car Videos used it. Somebody sent it to him. Another person received some. The stripper. I've not found it yet. I found something similar, but it wasn't the same, so I didn't want to get it. To where I could dip this and strip it all down, get a new set of decals, and then redo it. And like I said, I wouldn't change the color. That's the color I picked to do this in because it was a replica, and this was the one that got me into doing replicas. Because I thought to myself, you know, I see all these hot rods, and you know, to me that's awesome because it's a real car. You know, it's not a model, it's a real car. But, you know, like anybody else, I can't afford the real cars. I mean, I guess I could, but, you know, time frame, the amount of money, you know, you drop in today's world, you know, 60, 70,000 or more into a hot rod to make it, you know, show quality and a nice cruiser. The money I could take and expand in my hobby that I'd probably have more fun in, because there's nothing more disappointing than climbing in your car that you worked on and wrenched on, you know, maybe your whole life, or you've had it for a few years and you wrench it and you're going to this big cruise in, and you get a mile down the road and it breaks down. You know, it's just, it's aggravation. This I can walk away from. I cannot, you know, spend a dime on the hobby. And you can with the real car too, but that real car is sitting in your garage or in your driveway haunting you every time you walk by it. Where this, I can shut the door and never come down here for a month and none the wiser. You know, that's just my perspective on it. But so I choose models, and I can live in a dream world, so to speak, of building all these beautiful cars that I see in real life via, you know, Instagram, Facebook, hot rod magazines, and it's also a great form of research and data that I can use and gather up, and then find the kit and the parts I need, and then build a replica of it and have it for the rest of my life in a display case and look at it every day. I may not be able to drive it, which is the downside to it, but I have it and I can look at it and I can pick it up and move it around. You know, so that's what drives me. And for this one being the first one that I dove into, it kind of, you know, it sucked me in to where that's why I do what I do. I've always been a huge fan of Dodge Chargers. Not so much the new ones. They ruined it, in my opinion, by making it a 4-door. I don't care how much horsepower they slap underneath the hood. It's still a 4-door. You know, Is the car impressive? Yes. I mean, the stats don't lie. And, you know, the more aerodynamic they get, and the aftermarket kits, the wide body kits, all that crap you can bolt onto the car, yeah, it gets better and better. But at the end of the day, it's still a four-door. A hot rod is not a four-door. That's a preppy version of a hot rod for the guys that want to haul their kids around. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to go 180 miles an hour with my kids in the back seat. Grandkids, you know, anything. It's not. Take the 60,000 that you go spend on the car and go buy a hot rod, a two-door hot rod that, you know, you may take your kids in it, but you're just cruising down to the local cruise in. You're not seeing how fast you can go in it. You know, you're talking 700-800 horsepower from the factory. That is impressive in itself, but you can get the same thing in a two-door Dodge Challenger. So, you know, if Dodge called me and said, "Hey, Rusty, you know, we love what you do. We're going to give you your choice," or let's just say they say, "Hey, well, we're going to give you a Dodge Charger. We heard Dodge Charger is your favorite car. We're going to give you one. We just want you to drive it around and, you know, represent us." I would pass. Literally, I would pass. I would not take the car. I do not like a four-door sports car or hot rod at all, in real life or, you know, in the model world. I don't buy four-door models because I don't like four-door cars. My truck's a four-door, but that's, you know, I haul my grandkids around in it. My wife, my kids, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still a truck. It's got a bed on the back of it. So it serves a dual purpose. My wife's car is a four-door, but we haul family in it. That's what it's for. If I was to buy a car just for me and me alone, the last car I owned was a 2007 Mustang GT Deluxe. I had the 3-valve 4.6 in it. When I was done with it, I had like 400 plus horsepower. I had aftermarket tires and wheels on it. Lots of parts in the engine. You know, so on and so forth. And I got a model of it up there. I just haven't built it yet, so that'll be a replica build too. But you know, the Mustang was a two-door. That's what appealed to me. And everybody's different, and I totally get it. Some people like the four doors, and you know, you can't get the Charger in a two-door. So if you want a Charger, you're going to buy a four-door. I wouldn't take one if someone gave it to me. I mean, I may take it and turn around and sell it that day, but I'm not going to license it. I'm not going to put insurance on it. I'm not going to, you know, go through all the process. I'm going to sell it and make a profit off of it. And I may go buy the Challenger because I do like the Challengers, but it's, you know, because they're a two-door. I think Dodge could have produced a two-door Charger, but they're, you know, the market and the analytics and everything that's involved in the world today said that would be more appealing to the family man that could still take his kids in it, and that's fine. And they do have a base model, which is fine. But then you also come out with the Hellcat and the Elephant and, you know, these two keys. Come on, you're going to do that. Come out with a special version of the Charger that's just a two-door. It's still a big car. It's not a small car by any means. You know, back then I think it'd be considered a mid-sized car. Or even in today's standards, it'd be a mid-sized car. They're not like a, you know, Caprice or, you know, something of that nature. But it's, you know, it is what it is. That's just my opinion, guys. I'm not trying to piss anybody off or downplay anything. You know, everybody has a passion, and they love what they love, and they have their reasons for it. And it's just me, you know, spouting off the same. But to me, when it comes to hot rodding, you know, I've gone to races and had a four-door blow my doors off. Kudos. But, you know, I would have waited an extra week or two and found a two-door car and put that money into it versus a four-door car. It's got two more doors on it. It's heavier. I don't care if you gut the doors out or not. You still have the weight of the skin and the frame and everything else of the doors. That's more weight. Two doors are just better in my opinion. And I know there's a lot of people that feel the same way, and there's people that don't. That's fine. Now, like on station wagons, even when you get into station wagons, I'm not a big four-door fan. Would I build a four-door station wagon? Yeah, I would, because I'd slam it to the ground and Pro Tour it out. And I may even go as far as filling in the seam lines, where you don't see that fourth, the other 2 doors. I think most of the station wagons I have are 2 doors. So, there's that. So that's enough shop talk. We're about 20 minutes into this. We're going to kill another 10 minutes just with updates. 3D printing. I had a problem with a few of the files. It's not the file's fault. It's the way I formatted it and sliced it. So I have to go back. So the engines are going to be delayed till probably next week, along with some of the other things. I got like 3 files that I got to get all fixed out, and that's what I'll be doing the rest of the week in the evenings and this weekend, getting them all hammered out. That way I can get from the test print to the final print and get you guys some if you want them. Right now there's quite a bit. There's some seats options, some steering wheel options, some tires and wheels options, and then the engine with intake options. And I'll keep getting stuff in, guys, because there's stuff I want, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. I'm getting stuff I want, and then by doing it, if you guys like it, I'll sell a limited run of each thing to get you guys some stuff that maybe you've not seen before, or if you have and you've been wanting to get some, it gives you an opportunity to get it at a lot cheaper price. The biggest announcement is, so me and Mark at Hobby Nut Models were communicating the other night, and we thought, even though with my little quirky story about Richard Petty, his semi rig broke down, and all he had is out in the back of his barn is an old race rig from back in the day, and so he loaded up his car on that and made it to the races. Well, we're going to change the story a little bit. So Richard Petty's attorneys contacted Rusty Rotor and said that we can't do that, that wasn't appropriate. It's just a story, guys. It's not real. So we are going to focus on the Ram truck first. We have another kit, more age era appropriate, to coincide with the Ram truck. I'm going to kind of leave it as a surprise of what kit. We're in discussions with their attorneys right now, trying to get the permission to do this. Just a story, it's not real. But we may have to find a different, race car driver that will allow us to use their car for the ramp truck. So, I'm sure that'll take a little time, but instead of focusing on the NASCAR kit first, we are going to focus on the ramp truck kit first. So when I'm done here today, I'm going to get started on that. As I get to the points where I'm doing any modifications, I'll make a little video of that, or I'll put that part in with another video, just to keep you guys informed and up to date. If I find any flaws, any of the warpage that I've told you guys about that it apparently is relevant to this kit. So if I find any of that, I'll let you guys know, and specifically what part was and what isn't, and how everything's going. And then I'll get some video in of the actual truck too. And then when the attorneys hash this shit out, we'll know what driver we're going to be taking to the races. Storyline's still the same thing. Their rig broke down, got an old ramp truck. They got to make it to the races, so they go out and they tune it up, change the oil in it, they get it fired up, running good enough to haul a car, across a few states to make it to the race in time. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, is getting to the race, having your equipment there, and your team show up, and you run the race, and hopefully you win. And hidden behind the storyline there, that's the focus. We're taking something, we're running with it, we're putting a little deadline on it. We're trying to get to the end of the race, so to speak, and win. And win, but to me, is I will eventually take this to a show and have it on the table, and hopefully it wins something. I don't care if it's honorable mention. I'm not competitive. I don't like that aspect of the hobby that much. To me, going to the shows is going to see all the vendors and getting stuff that I've been wanting or need, meeting, all the YouTube guys, gals, just people, friends of mine that aren't on YouTube. They may be on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Get to actually meet them and talk to them, and talk a lot of model stuff. So I'm not feeling the best today. I wasn't yesterday. About mid-afternoon, I started feeling pretty bad. No health-related issues. Just I think I'm getting a sinus infection. I've been fighting it for about 2 weeks now, and I think it's going to win the war. So the next little video you guys can be watching for, like I said, so hit those bell notifications. Somebody asked me to do a review on the diorama that I'm going to be building next year. I've been collecting parts for about 5 years. The only thing I'm missing is a tow truck of probably I don't know, let's say that from early 60s to the mid 70s era tow truck. I'm not looking for a super fancy one because I'm going to make it kind of look kind of old. It's been used. It's a service vehicle for this gas station. I do have some clunkers to put in that are getting worked on, and then I have a couple nice ones to sit out front, lined up. And then the one I showed you that my wife got me, I have all three of them. I can't find the other one. Apparently I have it buried somewhere or what, but I don't know. I've been looking kind of off and on, and I've not put a lot into it to definitely find it. I know I have it. So that and an old Tamaya garage scene like diorama. So I'm going to incorporate all that together with some scratch building for like a pole barn, kind of in the back of the garage, and then a area where customers' cars are parked, and then the gas station itself. So it's going to fit on a 2 foot by 2 foot space. I'm going to use every square inch of it. It also will be, weathered, grass, trees, where, appropriately put where they need to be. And then we'll go from there and add some stuff to it, maybe light it up a little bit. So I keep it in the back of my head, the things I want to do, and I jot down notes from time to time, and I keep those all in like little files so I know when I think of something new, I'll go through and see if I've already written it down. If I haven't, then I write it down while it's fresh on my memory or fresh on my mind. That way, then when it gets time, I can take that file out and I can go through my notes and things I thought of that I need to get, or materials I need to get, and I stock up on all. That's how I do every build. It doesn't matter if it's a diorama or if it's just a car or a truck. I make mental notes, and then I transfer that to paper notes, and then I start my journey as far as finding everything I need. And when I've gotten everything I want and need for that, and then the opportunity comes, then I start building that. So today you really got kind of a thought process on everything I do, and don't get me twisted on the 4-door issue. There is cars that are 4 doors that I can appreciate and I like, but they're like the Johan kit I got. That's a 4-door. That's an ambulance. I can appreciate it because it's a service vehicle. Service vehicles typically are not 2-door, unless it's like a rescue truck that maybe it's a 2-door truck and it's got a bed on it with all the life-saving equipment and tools and all that stuff. That I can appreciate that, but at the end of the day, it's not a hot rod. It's a service truck or vehicle. So being a 4-door, I can appreciate those, and I do like those. I do have 3 or 4 fire trucks that I received from a gentleman that had passed away, and they need restored. I'm not a big fire truck guy. I don't know how detailed or well the kits are, or if all the parts are there. But I have a lot of that. I thought process was taking them apart and using the chassis because they're dualies, and your mind runs, what can I do with this? And maybe if I just do a total 100% scratch built thing, and those would be good parts. So that's why I keep that kind of stuff just in case. Or if somebody out there constantly, hey, you got that? I have it. We can do a trade, or I'll sell you the part, or you got no money, I may just send you the part. It's just all depending on what it is. Typically, like anybody else, if I paid for it, at least, not trying to get rich here, but I'm trying to get my money back. You know, make it fair or an equal trade. Generally is how I do it. You know, if I paid $5 for it, you know, I want to at least an equal trade. If I didn't pay nothing for it, and somebody gave it to me, I'm gonna pay it forward. I'm gonna give it to somebody else that can use it or will use it. So kind of, you know, I know I'm always all over the place. I'm sorry, but this is how my brain's wired, and I can't stay focused on one particular thing for very long without going stir crazy. But again, thank you from the bottom of my heart to all the new subscribers, my old subscribers. Thanks for hanging in with all my craziness, my bad camera work, you know, shakiness, the whole 9 yards. It's all going to get better. It's just going to take time. And you know, I love the comments. You know, keep them coming. Hit the thumbs up, thumbs down. If you don't want to leave it down there, go to my email. It's always in the descriptions. We can talk there. I've been doing that with a few gentlemen, and I really like that. You know, Jimmy over at Leadhead Customs, Don, Glenn at, you know, Model Cars with Glenn. He just sent me all of his artwork last night. I'm gonna forward that to Walgreens, which is a drugstore, and I'm gonna have them printed off on glossy paper so I can put them in frames and hang them up in my shop. Because to me, that, like I said, I have several that I drew back in the day that I need to get framed and mats on them and get them hung up, because I really like that kind of stuff in my shop. It doesn't have to be, you know, a shop card. The shop cards are great in themselves, but you know, all the eclecticness of, you know, hand-drawn items, pictures of real things, even cartoonish things. I love all that stuff. So at Glenn, Don, whichever it may be, Mr. Horton, I greatly appreciate the pictures. I'll update everybody once I get them ready to, you know, hang up in the shop. I've got a space kind of picked out for them. I think they're going to look great in there. I think I'm going to go with 5x7 of each one, just to retain some space. I don't want to take up too much space. But yeah, I'll let you know when I get them up on the wall. There's no other shop updates. So, like I said, everything's kind of delayed on the 3D printing. I'm going to do some more test printing of the other items to see how they come out today, and hopefully get them in the final phase next week also. So somewhere next week, I'll be announcing that, you know, they're ready. If anybody's interested in the stuff, you know, you just contact me in the email, and I'll let you know the price and how we ship and blah, blah, blah. I have a couple methods I can ship now just to save even more money, pending on the item, and how much, the quantity. That's key. So see what else. I'll be working on the Charger today too, the commission build, getting the vinyl roof painted, and we'll go over that tomorrow. And anything else I get done to it. Like I said, I'm not feeling the best, so I'm going to try to do what I can do today and just get some rest. Hopefully shake this head cold, sinus infection, whatever it is. Get down there, go check out Mark over at Hobby Nut Models. He's a great guy, and the more I talk to him, the more and more the friendship's building. And I like that. And the same way with Ryan. I don't get to talk to Ryan a lot because he is super busy, but I really enjoy our conversations, especially when we're working on a project together and we're hashing stuff out back and forth. And you know, he gets me excited. He gets a little excited about doing it, especially with something he's not done before. And you know, the new line of wheels, those dualies he's working on, they're now on his website. They're ready for sale. They're, man, dualies on low pros. That's a game changer, man. When you go to build a big dually and you want to slam it to the ground, those are awesome. You get the factory look, but on a low profile tire. That's the kind of stuff I like. I like switching it up and changing it up. And that man always produces something new that is rad. He's also got 3 other wheels. I don't know if they're ready yet or not. I don't know for sure if he's sending them to the channel, but I've seen pictures of them. Iceman's collection is going to be printing the first 2 sets And then VCG Resins is going to be printing the other set. So those will probably be your contact points to get those. And I don't know if he does send them to the shop. We'll go over it even further. But for right now, that's what was announced on Instagram. The Iceman Joel at Iceman's Collections will be printing the first 2 sets. And then VCG Resins, which does tremendous work too. I've gotten some of his stuff in the past, and yeah, it's spot on, perfect, beautiful work. He'll be printing the 3rd set. So, you know, go over to Ryan's Instagram page and you'll see the wheels I'm talking about, or to his website, and they may even be on there. And on Colts, you know, there's a lot of files on there for you guys that 3D print. I'm not, just out of courtesy, will print any of Ryan's wheels unless it's just something he doesn't have time and he sends me the file for something special. Then I will, but other than that, I won't, because he has other guys that do it and they do a lot better job than I can do. So you know, but I'll keep you informed on who has his products, who's because it changes all the time, you know, who's going to produce them. Ryan, like I said, is limited on time, so a lot of times he subs all the production part out to other people. He just creates the file. I guess they purchase the file, and then they do their printing and selling their own way. And Ryan's down with that. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But their links will be down in the descriptions, as will my email. Go check them out. Pick you up a jar of paint, some paint brushes, tools, a used model kit, a new model kit. You know, you saved your hard-earned money. Hobby Nut Models is the place to go. That ramp truck, Mark has them at Hobby Nut Models. You go check them out. My video that we did, the review, open box review, is now on the website, which blows me away. It's cool seeing, you know, something you did and it's posted on somebody else's website, and that's kind of an honor, and I greatly appreciate that, Mark. And stay tuned to the storyline for the ramp truck saga. Right now we're held up in litigation, but we can continue with the ramp truck. There's nothing legally that's stopping us from that, so we're going to proceed with that, the commission build, and we're going to get started here in the next few days on the 58 Impala. And like I said, that'll just be a little update, and I'll show you any progress. There's not going to be really any modifications to speak of that I know of. If I do get into one, I'll stop, I'll make a little video of it, and I'll let you guys know, because that is viewer's choice. The display cases for viewer's choice and wife's choice are on its way, and they'll be, you know, up here in the shop. We'll revisit them from time to time. So I've gone damn near 10 minutes over what I wanted to go, of course, as usual. You know, Rusty, shut up. So I will. I love you guys. Thanks for everything. Like I said, hit those likes, dislikes, bell notification, subscriptions. Keep them coming. It's only going to get better, guys. We'll see you tomorrow on the commission build. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.